Christine. I wanted to send you a short home exercise video since we haven't been able to meet officially for Pilates in the last couple weeks. So just wanted to have you to have a little something to work on before we kind of get back in the swing of things face to face. So let's start on your back. And Christine, we'll start with knees bent, body resting on the mat. And we're just going to start with some good breath work. So we're breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. The idea behind practicing some of the breath work is let's take a minute or two just to settle into our body. Can I feel the movement and mobility, a little bit of the expansion in all directions of the rib cage? Inhaling and exhaling. Now with that breath, Christine, we're going to begin a little rocking in the pelvis. So we call this a pelvic clock. The idea is we're doing kind of a tuck and an arch. So with the exhale, Christine, I'm going to ask you to roll the bones of the pelvis back towards the face. So I'm kind of imprinting or gently resting, kind of pressing just ever so lightly the low back into the mat. With my inhale, I roll the bones of the pelvis forward towards my feet, and there's some space created between my low back and the mat. So again, as I roll the bones of the pelvis back towards my face, I'm going to feel more contact of the mat under my low back. My tail is kind of tipped up towards the ceiling, and then I roll the bones of the pelvis down and forward towards my feet. So my tailbone's really trying to anchor down, but now my lower back has just gently lifted from the mat. So this is just a nice way to get a little mobility, both in the lumbar area, lower back, as well as the kind of around that hip joint. See if you can do a few of these, Christine, without your legs doing the work. So my legs are staying pretty quiet, and I want to try to keep my neck and shoulders pretty relaxed. Inhale to roll it forward. Exhale to roll it back. Inhale to roll it forward. Exhale to roll it back. Inhale forward and exhale back. We're going to take this rock into a full pelvic curl. So as I roll the pelvis back towards the face and my tail begins to lift up, I want to continue to think of someone lifting my tailbone by a string up towards the ceiling. I take a breath in here at the top of the movement, and then with my exhale, I lower down through the spine, and the pelvis comes to land or rest. Exhale, we're going to roll back through the pelvis. We're going to lift the tail, followed by the spine. Can I reach my knees forward as if they're going to go past the toes to really lengthen the spine? Exhale, we lower down. And I'm going to move through two more, Christine, but I would say you can easily do about 7 of these just to really get the spine moving. It's a nice way to get kind of the whole body involved. I'll do one more. Again, breath pattern is exhaling to curl and lift, inhaling to hold, exhaling to lower down. So last exercise in your home exercise for this week, I want to land through the pelvis, feeling the bones of the pelvis resting on the mat. From there, I'm going to allow my right knee to begin to open out to the right, kind of like a door. And then I'm going to bring it back in. And the goal here would be that I can keep the bones of the pelvis still or stable. That usually means that the lumbar area is pretty stable, not twisting. This leg, you want to allow it to move as freely as possible and just kind of note the range of motion and the ease of the movement. My other leg, my left knee, is still pointing directly up towards the ceiling. My left side is definitely having to work to help stabilize this movement. We'll go ahead and switch over to the left side. So the left knee opens away from the midline and back to the center. So again, it's kind of like a single butterfly stretch. You're allowing the left knee to open and back in. Notice again the ease of the movement. Can I keep, again, kind of the rib cage, the pelvis resting in a pretty kind of congruent line, stable line. Can also keep the head and the shoulders resting. So when you're doing this or practicing this on your own, you may want to go for maybe about 6 on each side, 6 on each leg, and then you can go through 6 to 8 of both legs opening away from one another and then drawing back in. So think of the knees reaching to either side of the room, not necessarily down to the floor, but reaching out and then drawing back in. Kind of a nice way just to not only get some hip mobility, work on keeping the spine still and stable, but also just a little awareness, both some lengthening and awareness of kind of the pelvic floor and the inner thigh musculature. So I'll do one more. And I hope this gives you a little something to work on until we talk or meet again. Thank you, Christine. Bye.